morning. It's certainly been a really cold night actually. I don't think any of us expected quite how cold it was going to be. We got through the night okay, this Taliban didn't show up, which is good. Now the sun's starting to come up, so we're about to begin day 2.
Before we start the day, I speak to some of the soldiers who were involved in the fighting the day before. Sergeant Mikhail Palo was one of the gunners who the Taliban fighters attempted to flank. During the fight he was shot in the chest, but a combination of his magazine and his body armour stopped the bullet.
The bullets come very close to me, and one actually hit me. So that's a little bit, I get a little bit panic when I feel that one bullet ricocheted in me.
Captain Rob Jules was one of the British fire support team attached to 2nd Platoon. He called in the artillery fire onto the enemy position.
It was quite a busy day. There's a lot of sort of moving parts with different people in different locations. But yeah, from our sort of point of view, fires-wise, we were safe, which is the main thing. Got everything on target. It was quite a busy day, so yeah, it was good really.
And what's it like working with the Estonians?
Yeah, it's been brilliant though. They're a good bunch. We were a bit sort of worried to start because we didn't know what they'd be like. Most of us didn't even really know where they were on the map, but actually they've been a cracking bunch, really professional guys, and been really happy working with them. They just love it, and so it makes our job really easy.
The objective for the day is to push southeast, sending vehicle patrols into an area frequently used by the Taliban as a base from which they launch attacks into Nadi Ali. For this mission, I'm attached to 2nd Platoon, who are commanded by Lieutenant Yuri Payuste.
I think it's more quiet than the yesterday's area, but there might be some random firing, but I don't expect a harder resistance there.
The patrol heads out.
So we've been patrolling for a good, 45 minutes now. We've just received reports from our eyes in the air that some women and children have been seen leaving an area nearby, and some guys on motorbikes going in. So usually when women and children leave an area, that's a sign that we're about to get attacked, but we'll see, it could be nothing.
As we patrol through an area of compound walls which surround poppy fields, Yuri sees a threat.
In the field behind me, we spotted a man with a weapon who was running along. We engaged him with a .50 caliber machine gun, which is on top of the vehicle. I don't think we hit him. Now we're just observing to see if him or any other enemy pop up.
1st Platoon, who are several hundred metres away, come under fire. They are on the other side of the walled compounds to us. Instead of driving out in the open, making us vulnerable to enemy fire, Yuri decides that he has to knock down part of the wall in order to take up a better position. We clear the new compound.
I'm trying to go to the north through this compound wall and take better covering positions for my APCs to see the enemy. We see the area where the enemy is. Basically, that's the plan.
The armoured personnel carriers begin to make their way through the freshly made hole in the wall. As the first vehicle clears the hole, the rear vehicle comes under fire. Being the platoon commander means that Yuri needs to have an accurate picture of what his men are doing at any given time, so he heads back through the gap to where his men are exchanging fire with the enemy.
So we've come under fire from just over that field there. We've got an APC here, and several soldiers were returning fire and suppressing the enemy at the moment.
Having established the position of his men, who are keeping the enemy pinned down, Yuri attempts to speak to his Joint Tactical Air Controller in order to call in some air support. He is having problems reaching the JTAC over the radio, and therefore has to run back to the compound that the controller is occupying. The compound shows signs of a hastily abandoned meal, as women and children left the area in a hurry.
We've taken over this small compound here. Our air controller was up there, calling in air support, and basically rounds have started snapping right over his head, and as we drew in, there are puffs of dust as bullets hit the wall that his face was poking over, so he's got down under cover now and just re-establishing comms with air support now.
Before long, the reassuring shape of an Apache attack helicopter can be seen in the sky above our heads. The JTAC returns to his position on the roof and attempts to locate the enemy, but fearing the Apache, they've run away. We set up a vehicle checkpoint nearby to see if we can intercept any enemy fighters entering or leaving the area. Peace descends, and locals begin to venture out, returning to their homes. After an hour or so at the checkpoint, we set up camp in a nearby compound and prepare to spend the night there. Despite 2 days of fighting, morale is still high.
I got sent these packets of cigars from home in one of my many parcels, and on it, Kelly thought it would be good to write, according to government research, these will kill you, but then so will an RPG. So smoke on, lads, but keep your head down. Very true.
I think that we achieved the aim that the enemy forced. We forced the enemy into defensive positions.
So this is the end of day 2, obviously. As you saw earlier, we weren't sure if the Taliban were going to contact us or not, but as you saw, they did. But we were able to suppress them so that they withdrew now. And then tomorrow is another day, so we're going to be heading out on another operation tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's the end of this day, and nobody was injured, so it's a good day.
The sun sets, but we are all soon to be awakened earlier than we had expected.